Good evening, everyone here from Venice. It's 6:30 in the evening, and I'm taking a stroll here in Castello, in the Giardini part near the Biennale, the art show on the eastern side of Venice. Very local area, which I love. So I'm taking a walk here in the gardens. I'll give you a show. Take a look. So, firstly, I'd like to, this is part 5 of my series of why I moved to Italy. Many of you are asking that question. My daughter Ellie and I, and people are asking my story and how I became a chef and so on. So I thought the bigger picture of the story would be helpful for everyone to align and put it all in context. So today will be the final episode here, but I'd like to thank you all because it's your comments and the love you're sending us has just been overwhelming. It's really, truly amazing. We appreciate so much. I'm so grateful for this special community we've all built together, and we appreciate you so, so much. And I do read all the comments. I read them every day, and thank you. So the other day at the end is, another thing is, people have been asking me my places in Venice, where to go, where to eat, markets, etc. On our Substack, we'll be publishing my favorite places in Venice to start, plus everywhere we go in Italy. There'll be a full list everywhere of what to do, what to see, what to eat. So we're really excited about that. So the other day, in part 4, I started talking about what had changed and that, why Italy started calling me home. And it's that, in 2025, leading up to that, the years prior, my life looked really good. And the optics were great. Everything was successful. I was growing a business. We had many amazing clients and people we were working with. I was traveling around the States and internationally doing work. And, but something inside I had changed. And my heart just wasn't in it anymore. I didn't find it fulfilling. And it took me some time to realize what that was, because I was in denial of it. Because how could this level of success in business and what I'd always wanted was here, and it wasn't fulfilling for me. So I had some inner turmoil for a while with that. And then in the beginning of 2025, I started really listening to my heart. And that was a process. What I realized is I miss cooking, I miss teaching, I miss telling stories. I miss all of the human connection that made me fall in love with this profession in the first place. And I knew I couldn't continue building a business when my heart wasn't aligned with where I was going. So I knew I had to do something. And my soul was calling me somewhere else. Look how pretty this is. I'll take it down a little further. So Ellie and I made a decision that sounded a little bit crazy, and she says, "Dad, I think you should just start doing videos and TikTok and Instagram," which I've done, and you start and you stop, and if you don't do it, you don't commit. But we committed. So we said, okay, we're going to do this. We committed to it. And so we started filming cooking videos just in May of last year. Actually, April, May, we started. And at that time, I had 2,500 Instagram followers, and TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, much less on those. And there was no guarantees. We had no business plan. We really didn't know what we were doing. So if you go back and scroll to our earlier videos, they're quite different than what we produce now. But it was a beautiful process. We were learning together, iterating as we went, and listening to all of you, our beautiful community, all of your comments. And we just pivoted and went and just kept every day producing videos every day. And then we started posting 6 days a week. And, it was just a belief that authentic stories matter. And that's what it means to us, really, truly. And looking back to that, it's the first step towards the life we're living today. Here, take a look at this. This is beautiful. Nice, isn't it? So then, fast forward to October, I was still wondering what I wanted to do. We were in Las Vegas for 10 years, and I thought, I got to do something else. I feel like I fulfilled what I need to do here. And one morning, as I was meditating in October, I experienced a moment of clarity. It was like a download, a message, telepathy, however you want to call it. It wasn't words. It was a feeling, fully embodied. It was visceral. And it was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It certainly wasn't my brain. That's how I knew, because it was calm and it was loving. It was very simple. And what I got was sell everything, move to Italy, and tell stories. That's literally it. You know, I can't explain it any other way than that. I just knew it was what I had to do. I knew. So that day I sat with Ellie. I wanted to take the leap. We talked about it. It took her a few days to process it, because that's big. She's leaving her home, packing things up. And I said, no, we just had a house and furnished it 3 years before, and fully done. I said, we're getting rid of, we're selling everything. We sold or donated everything, and that was it. So that's when the more we sat with it, it felt right. And Ellie started feeling very comfortable with it, and I knew I couldn't do this without her. So it was all or nothing. So then came the reality. It was getting our visas, and our consulate was in Los Angeles, so we took multiple trips to LA. It was a process, what they required. It was a commitment without knowing. The hardest part was I had to put down payments and pay commissions for an apartment for a year, full year, actually 13 months, plus get health insurance, plus buy plane tickets to prove we were going. And there was no guarantee to get our visas. It took us months to get another appointment, so we didn't get an appointment until March. And so we were in the midst of selling everything, like liquidating our house, donating, packing things up. I bought everything. I invested all the money in the leases and the insurance and the plane tickets, and there was no guarantee. So we were for months living with months of uncertainty. But amidst all that uncertainty every day, as I would sit in the mornings and meditate, I said, I have certainty, and I believed it was going to happen. So it was stressful. I can't say it wasn't. And that we departed on May 26th, and our visas arrived literally on May 23rd, 3 days before our flight. And with the gas and everything else, I looked to change our flights, and it was astronomical if we had to do that. So by a miracle, they showed up at our front door, and we celebrated together. It was really a great moment. It truly was. That's it. So we packed our lives in a handful of boxes. We had nothing. And we boarded the plane to Italy. We arrived, and here we are. But people ask me all the time, you're all asking me, why Italy? Why'd you do this? And the truth is, I didn't come to escape my old life. It was bigger than that. I knew deep down that this is something deeply meaningful and something I had to do. And at the end of the day, if Ellie and I could just travel and tell stories and document it for my children and grandchildren, then what's more beautiful than that? So I came here because I finally, after time, had the courage to truly follow my heart. And where it was leading me. So, looking back now, every success, every failure, every setback, every reinvention I had, every person I met, and every lesson I learned prepared me for this brand new chapter, this beautiful chapter we're in. And today, Ellie and I get to spend our lives together telling beautiful stories around Italy of food, culture, people, places, traditions, and the food, wine, and culture that first inspired me more than 30 years ago. So here we are. And I have one final thought. And if there's one thing I hope you take away from my story, it's this, is that it's never too late to reinvent your life. And now, this is where the real story begins. Thank you all for being here. Love and blessings to you all. I'll see you soon on another live.